So, how do you guys think the tournament has gone so far? I know Shreya and I have been really busy just going into the rounds and making sure everything is going well and checking that all the participants are here. And even though a lot of participants dropped the tournament, we still have a really good turnout. So, how do you guys think this tournament has gone so far?
I think it's going pretty well. I think there's been a couple like minor hiccups because I think like obviously since this is the first like virtual tournament we're hosting, and even for judges and stuff, it's just like where do I go? Like do I have to time? Like is somebody else timing? I think there's like those minor hiccups that we obviously expected and we like talked about and knew they were gonna happen. But luckily most of them happened like in the first round, and after that like I think it's running pretty smoothly.
Yeah, like I went in the first round and I like stayed for like a few minutes in every round, and like some of the judges were confused, but when I went in the second round, like everything was going a lot smoother, and I hope that continues throughout the rest of the tournament.
I also think those webinars that you guys hosted was really like helpful, especially for judges who are judging for the first time. They need like that initial guidance, and then they can like go in and help out.
I know, I was actually looking at some of the judges' feedback and it was really good actually. I think definitely the webinars helped them. But has anyone seen any of the participants yet and how they are giving speeches? Like, what do you guys think?
Yeah. So I actually watched a couple of the participants, and I think they're like ones who had also attended the webinar, and I think that really helped them as well because a lot of them are a little bit on the younger side, like middle schoolers. And I think going to that webinar and seeing like what they should be talking about, how it's set up and everything, it really just helped them and it made them feel more comfortable, because I think without that they would have been more nervous. They probably would have been more flustered about like when something was happening or how it was happening. But I think it was really helpful for the participants too.
Yeah, definitely. I hope that everyone learned something from the webinars, because obviously this tournament is for like learning purposes, and that's probably the biggest thing.
I also just wanted to add on, like I recently saw the interpretation events, and they were really good, and so I just kind of wanted to like put that out there, like that the participants like did a really good job in preparing and like presenting their speeches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but one of my favorite things about this tournament is how we get to help, students in America, because obviously in a time like this, it's really hard to get, the speech and debate education that they would normally get. So, we have 41 participants that are competing and learning, but also it's great that all the proceeds from this tournament go to our Sierra Leone's class. And like because that is in a new area in West Africa, obviously CE isn't as established there, and it's also in a more rural area. So I think definitely the proceeds that we are and all the donations that we're getting today will definitely help them.
I really like how we got like all the CE members to volunteer and help out for the tournament. So we had both of like an internal impact as well as an external impact. So it really made the tournament a lot more effective.
Yeah, I think for it wasn't like just our leadership team, but getting like all the members involved and kind of giving them a way, because I know in the past we've gotten a lot of messages which are like, hey, how can I get more involved with CE just apart from like teaching my 1 hour class once a week? And I think this is a really good way for them to get involved, because a lot of them do use CE for volunteer hours. But I think more than the volunteer hours, they're also kind of seeing how these tournaments are set up, how they're run, like everything that goes into it. So in the future, if we want to host another one of these tournaments, we like everybody kind of goes into it knowing what to expect, how it's going to run, what's going to work and what's not.
Yeah, definitely. This was also a really big learning experience for me and Shreya. I remember we wanted to do this tournament within 4 weeks. That would not have worked out, honestly. I think we learned a lot about, how to get volunteers, how to contact other organizations, because Shreya and I, we contacted organizations from like Southern California. So a lot of, so we were able to like outreach, get CE like established and like get the word out about CE in like those regions. And I think even though we did have like a lot of hiccups, I think the experience was worth it because we learned so much.
Yeah, and then I think we have participants outside of California too. I know we have like a couple people from Washington, and then we have a couple people on the East Coast as well from I think New York and Pennsylvania. So I think like as a team we did a really good job of getting the word out past our CE bubble that's like in this like Sacramento Bay Area region, and then like a little bit of Houston, but we really got it out to make it more of like a nationwide tournament instead of something that was like very local to our area, which is kind of like our Satyapreet Das Classic every year, because it is hosted here and it is in person normally. Like that is a very local tournament, but I'm glad we were finally able to host like a nationwide tournament that has participants from outside of just our region.
Yeah, definitely.
I also think like having this virtual tournament was a great way for us as an organization to get introduced to doing things virtually for the future. So now, like as Shruti mentioned, like now we know the process that like needs to be done, like marketing wise or planning wise, what steps we need to take to make it like successful. And like Shreya mentioned, like we could definitely do the Satyapreet Das tournament virtually now that we have experience.